Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we'll be discussing how to read polity effectively for UPSC Prelims 2026. So we'll be discussing what are the book list you have to refer with respect to UPSC Prelims, and 2025 polity segment questions we will be analyzing, and we will also look at what is the pattern of polity in the 12 years and what trend has been changing in the last few years and what strategy you should adopt for the coming year examination. So going into the book list, students, we'll first discuss what are the NCERT books you should necessarily read to clear the politics segment questions in preliminary examination. So if you look at the 6th standard NCERT, it is called Exploring Society India and Beyond. This is a recent publication which you can download from ncert.nic.in. After downloading, kindly read the Theme D, Governance and Democracy, chapter number 9, 10, 11, 12 for polity segment. And coming to 7th standard NCERT, Exploring Society, India and Beyond, Part 1. Again, here you need to read Theme D segment. So you can read chapter number 9 and chapter number 10 for the polity segment. And coming to 8th standard NCERT, Exploring Society, India and Beyond. Here again you can read the Theme D segment of chapter 5 and chapter 6. Coming to 9th standard NCERT, you need to read it fully. And 10th standard NCERT also, you can have a full reading of this book. And 11th standard NCERT Indian Constitution at Work. This is one of the best book with respect to polity segment, which many students would have already read. Even if those of you who are starting the preparation, kindly read this book first, then proceed to other NCERTs. Then coming to 11th standard NCERT Indian Political Theory. There is this political theory book is many of the students are skipping for preliminary examination, but you should necessarily read and cover chapters number 2 on freedom, chapter number 3 on equality, chapter number 5 on rights, and chapter number 8 on secularism. Because in UPSC preliminary examination in recent times, questions are asked from these chapters as well. Now, moving to 12th standard NCERT, here we have two books, Politics in India Since Independence. This you need to read completely. And while preparing for preliminary examination, my suggestion would be stick to the box column, especially the personalities they have covered in the box column in most of the chapters, that you can take a separate notes and try to remember and revise for the preliminary examination. When it comes to mains examination only, you need to read the complete every page of the book. Now coming to another 12th standard NCERT book, Contemporary World Politics. Here chapter number 4 on international organizations alone can be covered. So these are the NCERT books you should read. Now moving to the textbook component. Textbook, many of you might be aware already. Indian Polity by Lakshmikanth, especially the recent 8th edition, you can refer for preparing the UPSC preliminary examination. Suppose in case students who are finding it bit challenging or difficulty in reading and understanding Lakshmikanth book, my alternative suggestion would be go and download or try to order from Flipkart Vajiram and Ravi book, especially on Indian polity. This yellow book is also very simple language it has been given, and concept clarity is also very good, and you can repeat most of the points for prelims and mains as well. Now we will go into the question analysis of 2025 UPSC prelims examination. We will try to see the number of questions which has been asked in polity segment. So this first question, it focuses on the governance related, that is the political organizations and the department and their functions. In this question, they are focusing upon the local bodies, panchayats. We know very well this is very important chapter when it comes to prelims, and they are just asking the qualification, age, and the basic functions, especially of panchayats. Now moving to the next question, here they are focusing upon Lokpal. So usually I will be telling to my students, whenever you are preparing for polity, constitutional body, extra constitutional body, quasi-judicial bodies, all are very important. Separately how to make notes, and you have to compare all these bodies and memorize and revise for the examination. So you will be getting frequent questions on this chapter. Now moving to the next question, here they are covering especially on the pardoning power of president, and this is very easy question. Moving to the next question, here they are focusing upon speaker. This question is picked from parliament chapter, which is also very important chapter, and here they are just asking the basic provisions only. If you would have covered the parliament chapter on speaker, you can answer this question. In this next particular question, they are focusing upon the 10th schedule or the anti-defection law. This is again going to be crucial for the preliminary examination. And in this 7th question, they are focusing upon especially the powers of state government and central government with respect to minor minerals. Moving into the next question, they are focusing upon the ordinance making power. And in the next question, they are talking about the various councils. So these councils are again going to be very crucial. As usual, I will be telling is when you read the constitutional, quasi-judicial, extrajudicial bodies, we should cover these councils as well. Then moving to the next question, here they are talking about the constitutional provisions, especially which talks about the powers of governor. We know very well the governor's power is getting controversial in India in recent times, and we can surely expect questions on governor in the coming year as well. Moving to the 11th question, here they are talking about the basic provisions of fundamental rights, fundamental duties, DPSP. All these are foundational pillars and important topics in polity segment. And moving to the 12th question, here they are talking about the fifth schedule of the constitution. Students, not only fifth schedule, when you are reading for preliminary examination, you should focus on sixth schedule as well. These two talks about scheduled areas and scheduled tribes major provisions, and that will be usually asked in the preliminary examination. And moving to the next question, here they are talking about the seventh schedule, which is again important. And in this particular question, they are talking about the provisions and powers of governor. As I said already, governor is very important. In that, they have asked already one question. This is the second question they asked on governor in last year. So overall, if you look at the trend analysis from polity segment from 2013 to 2025, you can see the minimum number of question which has been asked is only in 2016, 7 question, and the maximum question, if you look at it, they have asked almost 22 questions in a year, that is in 2017. But in the recent years, if you see 2025 14 questions, and last year 2024 18, the previous year 2023, what we can safely assume is that with the recent trend change what it is happening in polity segment is you can minimum expect 15 questions from polity segment. And what is very important thing is this polity is easy rewarding and mark fetching area. Anybody can score and clear this area. Reason why I am telling is if you read the basic NCERTs and revise the most important textbooks like Lakshmikanth and work on the previous year questions, you can crack all the 15 questions at ease. Not only that, you should also have a clarity in the important chapters which they are asking frequently. If you look at the particular 2025 preliminary examination polity segment, they have asked questions on anti-defection law, that is on the 10th schedule, then ordinance making power, then powers of president and governor. We know governor's power is getting very controversial, so they are asking. And parliamentary chapter, speakers and basic provisions of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, fundamental rights, then legislative procedures and constitutional amendments. These are the questions are most important chapters which they have asked in 2025 examination. Now, what is a strategy which you can adopt for this coming year? That is what is going to be very important. As I will be telling, focus on these important chapters which I have already listed. Additionally, I will be suggesting work on fundamental rights, DPSP, then fundamental duties. So not only that, this year if you could see the provisions of SAR is getting very controversial. So the powers and responsibilities of election commission can be asked. So give more importance to election commission chapter. Not only that, after reading president and governor, kindly focus upon vice president because there has been recent resignations and controversies revolving around vice president's powers and responsibility and election. So kindly cover all the basic provisions related to that. And as usual, try to give maximum importance to the powers of governor. Again, questions can be asked and try to work upon the powers of central government and state government, especially the list which has been mentioned in the 7th schedule, especially on the concurrent list, union list, state list. Please have a good clarity on that because provisions related to that can be asked directly from the polity segment. So in addition to that, in the coming days, any particular responsibilities or any positions of constitutional powers are getting controversial, please give focus to that. And at the end of the covering all these segments, as I have said already in today's video, you need to give maximum focus on the constitutional bodies, extra constitutional bodies, and quasi-judicial bodies. So try to make a tabular column format and try to have a comparative analysis and revise it well for the preliminary examination. So you will be expecting sure questions from these bodies as well. So this is a strategy you should adapt. So try to give maximum importance to these chapters. After covering these chapters, then you can work upon the remaining segments. In this manner, if you approach the polity segment, I will be telling polity is going to be a cakewalk for most of the aspirants and you can easily target the 15 questions and you can clear that 15 questions as well. Thank you, students.